Guys, at this point, I'm just going to turn it over to Director of Athletics, Dr. Joel Erdman, and allow him to make his announcement.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here this afternoon. I have a prepared statement, and I'm happy to answer questions at the end of that. This morning, Coach Arrow and I met. During that meeting, and as a result of that meeting, he expressed a desire to retire, and I have accepted that notice of retirement effective immediately. Coach Arrow has served the university for numerous years and has provided many memories for our student athletes, students, and fans of our men's basketball program. His contribution to the basketball program and to the game of collegiate basketball will forever be appreciated. Current Associate Head Coach Jeff Price has been appointed interim head coach for the remainder of the season. A national search for a permanent head coach will take place at the conclusion of the season. We are fortunate to have Coach Price leading the program at this time. He is a seasoned and skilled coach with significant successful experience as a head coach. He also possesses strong leadership and interpersonal skills, which are key in a time of transition such as this. The leadership of the program has changed. However, the core mission remains the same. We will pursue competitive excellence in a way that properly represents the University of South Alabama and its loyal fans. I encourage the support of this team by our fans, not only to continue, but increase during this time of transition. These student athletes have tirelessly committed and worked for the opportunity to represent the name on the front of their jerseys. Commitment and effort such as this is worthy of our enthusiastic support.
Questions for Dr. Erdman?
It just seemed like odd timing. When you spoke with Coach Arrow and he expressed that desire, was it anything health, family?
No, the timing is a little unique, admittedly, but it's not unheard of at sometimes during seasons in various sports where coaches choose to retire. And Coach asked, and I'm happy to honor it.
He'd never talked about anything like that prior. He never even said, you know, maybe it's getting close. Anything before this morning?
No.
But why? What was the why? What was the reason that he gave for why?
You know, it's decisions such as this are oftentimes personal in nature, and due to that fact, I'll leave it there. I think I have an obligation to recognize the retirement itself, and I have an obligation to move the program forward.
You're saying you want to respect his privacy, and we all understand that, I'm sure, but what do the fans think of this? And what
you know,
tell them?
I'm sure the fans will wonder why, and that's typical and understanding. But the fact of the matter is we have a man who has decided to retire, and that is what is happening.
Joel, this is not in relation to performance this season.
No, you know, there's, as with all programs, I talk to coaches endlessly about their programs, whatever that program may be, wins and losses, academics, other various factors that might go on within the program, but there is not a singular issue here.
Will Jeff Price be considered for the head coaching position as well, or is he just going to serve out the rest of the
No,
season?
I think, as I said in my statement, I think Jeff's a very capable coach, and if he has an interest in the permanent position, I would anticipate, as of right now, he'd be in consideration.
Is Ronnie or Jeff going to be made available anytime today, or do you know if that's going to happen today? Or
I believe we, you know, due to the transition, and I think Brian will be able to talk with you more about that, but Brian and the student athletes will be available for comment tomorrow. Is that, I believe, where we're headed?
Okay. So many times in our business, we get caught in the wording of the departures in the
Yeah.
coaching business, whether it's retire, a resignation, a forced resignation, a firing,
Right,
all of the above.
right.
Is this one of those situations, the high road is the retirement, or is?
I go back to Coach Arrow requested to retire, and that's what we are doing. I think any speculation beyond that is unworthy and not needed. I want to reiterate, Ronnie's got a great history here and has done some tremendous things and has great relationships around this community and within this department and at this university. So we and I have a great deal of respect for him and what he's accomplished here.
Could the public perception immediately, without explanation from him or days to decipher all this stuff, could the public perception be that he's quitting on his team?
No, I doubt that. Those people that know Coach Arrow knows he's a very competitive person, and he would not by choice, you know what I mean, not do that in a way that to leave a team. There would be other factors that would influence that. He's a competitive man. He's been coaching the game of basketball for a long time, and the day has come where he is retiring.
You said you all met this morning.
Mhm.
Was this a meeting that was just called between you and him this morning?
It was a scheduled meeting.
It was a scheduled meeting
Sure.
already?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, to just discuss various things. As I said, as I have meetings with every coach in the department.
Is it a weekly type thing that you'd have these meetings, or is it just every so often?
No, sometimes with need, but I would say I speak to our head coaches face-to-face weekly.
You have not hired a basketball coach here since you've been here.
Correct.
What kind of basketball, what kind of man and coach are you looking for? And what are the characteristics you're looking for?
I believe the same characteristics of all head coaching searches. You start first with a very deep and solid value system where a person understands who they are and they align with the mission of this university and with this department and how we do business. Once you're comfortable with that, you start to go into the X's and O's of the game. Whether a head coach or an assistant coach, in my years here, I've gone down both ways with a head coach or an assistant coach. I always am, and I will continue to be very interested in recruiting and what is the recruiting philosophy and what is the desire and ability to evaluate, pursue, and land prospects that will make us successful. So the value system, the experience in success, head or assistant. Obviously, we want people that is used to winning and has a formula for winning. And then recruiting. And then there's intangibles kind of on the back end of collegiality is important to me within the department. The ability to work with and be effective with a vast array of people, fans, boosters, people on campus, students, and someone who is not foreign to relationships and building bonds with people to help us raise interest and sometimes money.
What has the team's reaction been?
They were admittedly quiet, surprised, I think is fair to say. But I do think that part of the formula here that's positive and in our favor is Jeff Price. I can't undervalue him. I think he has tremendous relationships with the student athletes that are here. And I think it's fair to say they have a great deal of respect for him, not only as a coach, a basketball coach, but as a person. And I think they will rebound, I guess to say, and recover and move forward appropriately with Jeff's leadership.
Who told the team?
Coach Arrow told them initially, and then I met with them after Coach Arrow.
The assistant coaches, Coach Floyd and everybody, they were still just staying on
The staff will be retained, yes.
You talk about the odd timing, whatever way people choose to perceive this transition, it's a few days before Christmas.
Yeah.
No one likes to lose a job or change jobs during this time of Christmas. I mean, does it make it, as an administrator, even more challenging to make this announcement today with Christmas?
You know, in a way, yes, but again, in a way, it was a mutual desired retirement, but the holidays do add a sense of sensitivity, I guess you could say, to any situation. I could understand that.
And the word retirement, if Coach Arrow speaks to the media, does that mean that his basketball coaching career is over?
Here, yes.
It seems like it's leaving a window open a little bit.
Well, he is retired from the position of men's basketball coach at the University of South Alabama.
That means also he's not getting paid any longer from here, so he would have retired, and there's no payment whatsoever, anything else that he's due financially.
You know, anytime there's a human resources or personnel action, there are things that are not communicated, and due to privacy issues, they remain unspoken.
Joel, as far as the season up to date, it seems like obviously it's been a roller coaster ride. The Florida State win gave high expectations to fans, and the 3-game losing streak, then the 2 conference wins, then the 2-game losing streak, and then the rebound Sunday. And then Augustine Rubin, his success, it looks like a team that can contend for the conference championship.
You know, we're 5-5. We're 2-0 in league. We've got one of the, if not the best player in the Sun Belt Conference, one of the best. We've got a supporting cast of very capable young men who at times this year have shown tremendous spurts of tremendous basketball, and admittedly at times this year have shown spurts of inconsistency that led to some what might be considered disappointing losses. But I truly believe that this group of young men have the ability to continue on and to compete and get in the mix for a Sun Belt championship and a potential postseason berth. And that was something I communicated to them when I had a chance to meet with them, was continue the job. Continue the leadership has changed, but what we're trying to achieve here has not.
I don't know if you guys have a Facebook page, but get the real-time scoring from fans like we do in our business, but one would expect, one would hope that there's going to be some type of public outcry, backlash, support, what's going on, accusations, because if there's not, then the basketball team not worthy of criticism when coach isn't doing is not worthy of the price of admission, is it?
You know, there is something to be said about any type of feedback, whether it's positive or negative. I always hope we have feedback, because then you're exactly right. We have people that care, and we have people that want to see the program improve. And I think I am accurate. Well, I know I'm accurate in saying I am open to listen to anyone, and I do my best to provide my ear and my ability to listen to people, and I encourage them. to give me feedback about whatever topic within this department.
Will there be any recognition coming up at a game? Ronnie coming out one last time at all, or has that been discussed? Or-
That hadn't been discussed yet.
This was a unique hire the second time around. Not many programs took this chance. Not to say it didn't work, or maybe to say it didn't work.
Yes, the circumstances of the second hire could be seen as unique, but Coach Arrow has been here and taken the team to the postseason, and he was brought in. I think I've heard. I don't know for a fact, but he was brought in. I believe part of the reasoning was we had an experienced team, and he was a mature and experienced coach, and he managed that team and that situation appropriately.
And to sell the next coach on this program in this geographic area, which is obviously a challenge to attract fans like we do in football, is basketball alive and well in Mobile, Alabama at the Division I level?
Yes.
Can it get better? Should it get better?
Unquestionably. I truly believe we have a very recruitable city. We have a very recruitable region. We have a very recruitable university. We have a very recruitable facility. We have we have the potential to have an amazing crowd environment in the Mitchell Center, and at times over the past 2-3 years that environment has occurred, and we are engaging with our student body more. Our student attendance is up. We need to sell more tickets, obviously, but I see no reason that this program and all our programs should not be knocking on the door for conference championships on a consistent basis. I think college basketball is a great game. College basketball is a wonderfully entertaining game with a great environment. We may be located in a region in which the number that see that the same way may not be as dense here, and we've got to sell it. We've got to do a better job at getting people out there.